some of you eagle-eyed persons will notice that there's a zip tie here holding that panel on, and that's because in the intervening period between my initial test ride and when I picked it up, somebody in the dealership walked by, probably with some piece of clothing that snagged the corner of that and broke the fitting there. So they were gonna order a whole new fairing for me. These are the parts that arrived and were installed on the bike. I don't actually do removal of the fairing video. It's pretty simple. What I will do is touch upon the reinstallation of the fairing afterwards, and you can figure out how to take it apart from that. So let's jump right in to where I've got the fairing off, and I'm looking at the indicator that was removed from the fairing. Some interesting revelations. Somebody had this apart and then put it back together right. This is not supposed to be sticking out. This is how it's supposed to be. So I'll tuck back in. There's some scratches over here. This is the damaged fairing. This piece came off of that location. So this piece is broken off from there and it's left into this outer panel. This piece here is broken completely off. Funnily enough, they all ended up and stayed inside of this assembly while it was on the bike being ridden. This piece was broken off. So with this, and this broken off, this whole panel had to be replaced. And that's why we've gotten the new panel here. I've taken the indicator light out and installed it back on this new panel, and now I had to transfer over the little clips that go on that and that, transfer it over from the old part onto the new. Now the trickiest part is in getting that little push-on clip off without damaging it. I just used a pair of needle nose pliers and pulled the thing from the other side and got this thing out. So it's slightly deformed, but I can flatten that and push it back on. However, looking at the part, I can see that there's one. That's where it came off from, that little clip. But then there's two more. None of those had these push-on clips. And the thing is, if you suffer damage, for example, to your indicator, and you want to take the indicator off or you want to upgrade the indicators, you need to take this panel here off before you can get to the indicator and remove it. And since 3 of them are provided, but only one has a clip, and that clip, funnily enough, that clip was between these 2 screws. So this edge here was well secured by these 2 screws. But the bottom part here that had these 2 that had no clips, they were not secured. So guess what? I'm not putting that clip back on there. Here's the left side fairing with the same issue. I'm not going to take this apart just to fix that. I'm going to try and fix it right there. That is rubber. That piece that's sticking up there, that's rubber. And it's a lining that helps to keep that all aligned. So what happened is probably that these indicators got bent, and when they flexed back into position, that thing slipped out. So I'm gonna try and tuck that back in. This is how the indicator connector is supposed to slot in. It's supposed to fit in. I pushed it in there. It's supposed to fit in there like that when you put the fairing back on. Now, this is the bottom connector that you've got to hook this piece here onto, and then you line up these tabs here, that tab there with this, and the same thing in the front, and then you put the 3 fasteners on and you're done. This fastener is so good. Put it in place and then click. That's it, it's done. The next one is the same. You just line it up, line the holes up, push it in, and then one click. Done. So there's the new fairing. New fairing is on, and there's no more zip tie. And let's make sure all our blinkers are working. Turn the bike on. Well, the position lights are on, so that means the blinkers will work. Excellent.